Golden Age actors built like Greek gods. Have you ever wondered how those Golden Age titans got that big before protein shakes, Photoshop, or enhancers? No CGI, no shortcuts, just barbells, hard labor, and lungs trained in pools, on ranches, and on the gridiron. Tonight, we're counting down the 10 most built like a tank leading men. Mass you could see, strength you could feel, and proportions that still humble modern physiques. Comment your top 3 guesses now. Let's see how many you nail before number 1 drops. Stay to the end to see why the final pick remains the gold standard of natural muscle. Number 10, Mike Henry, the gridiron gladiator. Starting our countdown with pure NFL power transformed into jungle legend. Mike Henry wasn't just a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Los Angeles Rams. He was a human battering ram whose frame was built for destruction. Henry's measurements told the story of elite athletic conditioning. His core was built for explosive collisions, while his massive chest housed the lung capacity needed for 60 minutes of gridiron warfare. Every muscle had been battle-tested, where survival meant delivering and absorbing punishment that would crush ordinary men. When Hollywood called in the mid-1960s, Henry brought unprecedented athleticism to Tarzan. His 3 jungle films showcased the Lord of the Apes unlike any before. Powerful enough to wrestle crocodiles, fast enough to outrun leopards, agile enough to swing through trees with world-class grace. What made Henry's Tarzan revolutionary was the authentic power behind every movement. When he dove from cliffs or wrestled dangerous animals, the audiences witnessed the same explosive strength that had terrorized NFL offenses. But football power was just the beginning of what Olympic training could produce. Number 9, Glenn Morris, the one-time Olympic Thunder. In 1936, one man stood above all others as the world's greatest athlete. Glenn Morris didn't just win Olympic decathlon gold, he shattered the world record, proving his lean frame packed more explosive power per pound than any human before. Morris's measurements told a different story than pure bulk. His physique was sculpted for speed, power, and endurance rather than intimidation. His core generated rotational power for shot put and discus, while his legs launched him over high bars and down sprint tracks with devastating effect. This was a man who could run 100 meters in under 11 seconds. He'll then immediately shift to hurdle barriers, pole vault to extraordinary heights, and hurl heavy implements incredible distances. His body was a Swiss Army knife of athletic capability. When Morris stepped into the Tarzan loincloth for just one 1938 film, he brought Olympic-caliber athleticism never seen before or since. Every movement carried world-class precision, every stunt the explosive power of a man who had conquered the world's most demanding competition, yet Morris's adult achievements couldn't match our next. Legend's remarkable on-screen transformation. Number 8, Johnny Sheffield, the boy who became a legend. Imagine growing from a 38-year-old into a muscular action hero, all while performing dangerous stunts before millions of viewers. Johnny Sheffield's journey from Tarzan's adopted son to jungle hero represents one of Hollywood's most remarkable physical transformations. Sheffield's measurements evolved dramatically over his career. Starting as an athletic child, in 1939's Tarzan Finds a Son, he developed into an impressive adult with lean muscle and surprising strength. What made his physique unique wasn't size, it was functional power, developed through years of performing his own stunts. By age 8, Sheffield was swinging from studio vines, diving from dangerous heights, and wrestling with trained animals. And this serious stunt work built genuine athletic ability and fearlessness no adult could fake. His body adapted, developing wiry strength and agility that made every action sequence look effortlessly natural. When Sheffield graduated to leading man status in 12 Bomba the Jungle Boy films, audiences witnessed a performer who had literally grown up mastering adventure cinema. But while Sheffield grew into strength gradually, our next strongman was born for biblical spectacle. Number 7, Victor Mature, the biblical colossus. Some men are simply built for grandeur, and Victor Mature possessed a commanding presence that could fill movie screens and dwarf elaborate sets with pure physical magnetism. His measurements looked like ancient mythology brought to technical reality. What made Mature perfect for biblical epics wasn't just size, it was proportion and presence. His broad shoulders carried massive costumes naturally, while his deep chest and thick arms looked completely believable, wielding ancient weapons or breaking chains with apparent ease. Mature's most famous role as Samson showcased a man whose natural build required zero movie magic. When he pushed against temple pillars or lifted stone blocks, his genuine strength made every moment convincing. His frame carried muscle that looked functional rather than decorative, beyond impressive measurements. Mature possessed understated confidence that made his characters feel authentically powerful. He never had to flex or pose. His presence communicated capability. Whether wearing ancient robes or modern suits, he carried himself with easy assurance. But mature strength was built for spectacle rather than athletic performance, unlike our next revolutionary hero. Number 6. Gordon Scott, the thinking man's strongman. Standing tall and weighing a perfectly proportioned 210 pounds, Gordon Scott brought something revolutionary to the Tarzan legacy: the marriage of impressive physicality with genuine intelligence. His measurements represented an ideal balance between size and athletic functionality. Scott's lifeguard background built the exact combination of strength, swimming ability, and rescue training perfect for jungle adventures. His physique reflected years of real-world application rather than gym vanity. Every muscle had been battle-tested in emergency situations, developed through dangerous water rescues, demanding both power and endurance. What set Scott apart was his approach to character evolution, rather than playing a primitive savage. He portrayed Tarzan as an educated, articulate protector whose physical abilities matched sharp intelligence. His impressive frame supported a character who could speak multiple languages and solve problems through brains and brawn. Scott's 6-film Tarzan tenure showcased natural athleticism in every challenge, whether swinging through jungle canopies, diving from waterfalls, or wrestling predators. His athletic build made every stunt appear effortless. But Scott's balanced approach couldn't match the versatility Olympic training could achieve. Number 5. Buster Crabbe, the triple threat champion. Few athletes have demonstrated the incredible versatility Clarence Buster Crabbe brought to sports and cinema. His swimmer's perfectly proportioned frame possessed the rare combination of strength, speed, and endurance, allowing him to excel in completely different worlds. Crabbe's Olympic gold medal in 1932 established him as elite, but his athletic achievements were just the beginning. His swimmer's physique, built for power and endurance rather than bulk, translated perfectly to action cinema, where stamina often mattered more than size. What made Crabbe legendary was unprecedented versatility. He seamlessly transitioned from Olympic pools to jungle vines as Tarzan. It's then conquered outer space as Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. Each role demanded different skills, yet his athletic foundation allowed him to master every challenge. Crabbe's longevity remains remarkable. He continued performing action sequences well into his 50s, maintaining the same athletic build and capabilities that made him famous decades earlier. His training emphasized functional fitness over appearance. Perhaps most impressively, Crabbe proved smaller athletic builds could be just as commanding as massive bulk. Whether wielding ray guns or swinging through jungles, he moved with the fluid precision of a true champion. Yet even Crabbe's versatility couldn't match the towering presence commanding television screens across America. If one of these men was your childhood hero, drop the first movie you saw him in. Number 4. Clint Walker, the television titan. Standing like a mountain among men at an extraordinary 6'6" and weighing 235 pounds, Clint Walker possessed an intimidating presence that could stop conversations across crowded rooms. His incredible measurements made him look like a comic book superhero brought to life. Walker's physique wasn't built in Hollywood gyms, but forged through genuine hard labor. Before becoming television's most imposing cowboy, as Cheyenne, he worked construction and loaded cargo ships, performing backbreaking manual work that created functional strength no gym could replicate. What made Walker legendary wasn't just size. It was how he carried that imposing frame with surprising grace and gentleness. Despite being able to physically dominate any situation, he projected quiet confidence rather than intimidation. His calm demeanor made audiences believe this giant could be both protector and friend. When Cheyenne premiered in 1955, Walker's presence revolutionized television. His towering frame filled screens with authority that made every other Western hero look ordinary. Whether facing multiple opponents or performing horseback stunts, he moved with surprising agility. But even Walker's television dominance couldn't match the aquatic mastery of our next legend. Number 3. Johnny Weissmuller, the aquatic phenomenon. Before modern swimming stars, there was Johnny Weissmuller, a man whose frame redefined what humans could accomplish in water. His swimmer's ideal measurements possessed a perfect combination of power, technique, and aquatic instinct. The Weissmuller's achievements read like fantasy. 5 Olympic golds, the 1 bronze, and dozens of world records. His freestyle technique was so revolutionary, Coaches still study his mechanics today. His incredible lung capacity and long arms generated propulsion that seemed to defy physics. When Hollywood transformed Weissmuller from pool champion to jungle king, they discovered his athletic gifts translated perfectly to action cinema. His famous Tarzan yell demonstrated the breath control that made him the world's fastest swimmer. His water sequences remained unmatched because audiences watched a man who truly was superhuman in aquatic environments. For 12 films, spanning nearly 2 decades, Weissmuller's physique defined Tarzan. His lean, functional muscle looked completely natural, swinging through trees, diving from cliffs, and wrestling dangerous animals. Every movement carried fluid, Olympic grace. Weissmuller proved true strength wasn't just about size, it was a perfect marriage of physical gifts, technical mastery, and competitive drive. But as dominant as Weissmuller was, our next legend built even more impressive measurements while inspiring future champions. Number 2, Reg Park, the Mentor Titan. Standing as a mountain of perfectly sculpted muscle, Reg Park possessed measurements that still leave modern enthusiasts speechless. Park didn't just build an impressive physique, he constructed a temple of strength that would inspire legends. Born in post-war England, Park approached training with systematic precision. His methods were revolutionary, emphasizing heavy compound movements that built not just size, but incredible functional strength. His gym sessions were legendary affairs, where men gathered to witness feats that seemed to defy human limitations. Park's 3 Mr. Universe victories established him as the premier bodybuilder of his era, but his greatest legacy came through mentorship. When young Arnold Schwarzenegger first saw photographs of Park's massive frame, it changed his life forever. Reg became Arnold's idol, training partner, and father figure. What made Park's physique extraordinary wasn't just size, it was incredible strength behind those measurements. His training philosophy was simple but effective. Lift heavy, train hard, never compromise. Park's impact on cinema was equally impressive. His portrayal of Hercules showcased what genuine strength looked like on screen. When Park lifted massive stones or bent metal, audiences witnessed real power, rather than movie magic. Yet even Park's massive frame couldn't match the perfect proportions of our number 1 choice. Number 1, Steve Reeves, the golden standard. At our countdown's pinnacle stands a man whose measurements have never been equaled for sheer aesthetic perfection. Steve Reeves, carrying 215 pounds of the most symmetrical muscle ever developed through natural training. His legendary statistics represent what many consider the golden ratio of human physique made flesh. Reeves didn't stumble into greatness. Born on a Montana ranch, he began as a skinny teenager who transformed himself through unwavering dedication and revolutionary methods. His approach was mathematical in precision, focusing on perfect proportions rather than maximum size. His 1950 Mr. Universe victory established Reeves as the premier natural bodybuilder of his generation, but cinema made him immortal. When Italian filmmakers searched for their perfect Hercules, they found a man whose physique required no special effects. He simply was the mythological hero brought to life. His measurements tell the story of perfect symmetry. That 29-inch waist created a V-taper that made his chest appear even more impressive, while his arms possessed ideal balance of mass and definition. His legs carried the same perfect proportions that made every pose artwork. What separated Reeves from every other strongman was understanding that true greatness lay in the harmony of all elements. He achieved the impossible dream of looking like a Greek god while remaining completely natural. Decades after his prime, enthusiasts still study his methods and strive to achieve his proportions. His legacy as Hercules established the template for every action hero who followed. The perfect marriage of classical beauty and functional strength. These 10 legends proved extraordinary physiques could be built through dedication, intelligence, and relentless hard work. From Mike Henry's authentic NFL power to Steve Reeves's perfect symmetry, each man contributed something unique to our understanding of natural development. Their measurements tell stories of different approaches: functional athlete power, systematic bodybuilder development, and authentic working man conditioning. Yet all shared common traits: discipline, consistency, and unwavering commitment to pushing their bodies to natural limits. In today's world of shortcuts and enhancement, these Golden Age Titans remind us that the most impressive physiques are built through patience, wisdom, and respect for the long journey of physical development. Their methods remain effective. Their examples are as powerful as the day they first stepped into the spotlight. Which of these legendary physiques inspires your transformation? Tell us in the comments below.